Hey, house guests! Welcome to today's Big Brother 26 updates and spoilers. Yes, the sunglasses are back from this morning. I'm sorry. I know I look like a freak right now, but I'm starting to feel better headache wise, and I don't want to go backwards with it. I'm still a little like "Ugh," on the fence right now. So the sunglasses unfortunately are remaining, but I look cool, right? Maybe. Okay. Our house guest of the day is Lynn Hurst. Lynn, thank you so much for the support over the years. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate you so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the description below. It's only $1 for a holla. And if you're poking around down in the description, you will see a link for Paramount Plus if you're interested in checking out the live feeds. It's there. And if you use our link, it really helps us out. So we appreciate that as well. All right, let's get into it. Wait, actually, I should do. Now I'm T-Core. Okay, so when we left off yesterday, we had Rubina versus T-Core up on the block. Who's gonna go? Nobody knows. We do now. We're gonna get into that. But by the end of yesterday's spoiler, we did not really know what was gonna happen. Leah, Makensy, and Angela all wanted T-Core to go. Leah, as the HOH, does not vote this week. There's no chance for a tie. Chelsea and Chemo want Rubina to go. So Cam is the swing vote here. He is the deciding factor. And it was looking like for a hot minute, he was leaning towards voting out T-Core because he felt like she would put him up if she won HOH. Plus, Leah had told him that T-Core was suggesting him as the renom this week. So he wasn't feeling great about that. Also, everybody knows T-Core and Rubina have been pushing for the women to get to the end together. And Cam is like, I'm not a woman. So it wasn't looking great for his relationship with T-Core. But then yesterday, Chelsea clocked in for work saying, we can't trust Leah. She's got to go next week. She was really pushing that Leah cannot be trusted and she needs to go. And at the same time, Chelsea was also claiming, I'm not even that close with T-Core. What? That's not a thing. She says that's just something that Tucker made up. No, it's definitely something that people are aware of because T-Core has spent like the entire game talking about how she doesn't want to put Chelsea on the block. She doesn't want to vote Chelsea out. She wants to go to the end with Chelsea. You know, she's been talking nonstop about Chelsea. So eventually, people are going to catch on to that. Yeah, so Chelsea was pushing to Cam that T-Core would be better for their games in the final five because T-Core would work with them over some other people that are left. Plus, if T-Core is gone, Chelsea is worried that Leah is going to pick up some new numbers. She's going to be with Chemo. She's going to be with Angela. She's going to be with Makensy. So Chelsea is saying we should keep T-Core. She's better for us. And then T-Core campaigned to Cam, and she's saying she did not push for Cam to go up as the renom. Technically, she didn't say his name, right? She wasn't like, oh, Cam's got to go up on block. But it was implied. Like Leah knew who she was talking about, but she did not actually say his name. So Cam, after this conversation, is wondering, is Leah lying? Like, is she making stuff up? Is she just trying to drive a wedge between me and T-Core? So there are some questions there. Meanwhile, Makensy, for some reason, was throwing Leah under the bus to Chelsea. She told Chelsea that Leah admitted she had been trying to plant some seeds with Cam about Chelsea, right? To turn Cam against Chelsea, which she was absolutely doing. But why would you tell Chelsea this? So Chelsea reported this back to Cam. Cam's like, I don't know who to believe. I don't know what's going on here. So it was very unclear by the end of yesterday's spoiler how Cam would be voting tonight. Okay, so Makensy and Angela had to check in with each other. And Makensy says, I think Chelsea's on board with voting out T-Core. Girl, what? Now, Chelsea did tell Makensy and Cam that she would vote with the house. If that's what they want to do, she'll do it. But that was like really late on what's today? That was really late on like what, Tuesday night? So things have changed. She is now pushing back against that. So Angela says during her one-on-one with T-Core admitted to Angela that she and Chemo are the strategists of the trio, because she didn't just say like, oh, we're the strategists. Angela was asking her, who is the best strategist in your group? And yeah, T-Core said her and Chemo. If I was Angela, I'd be like, okay, bye, because the one person that you're saying is not the strategist is the one you're on the block next to. But anyway, Angela says Rubina is not as threatening on a game level. And Angela also says T-Core basically told her that she would have rather seen Angela use the veto on Rubina than on Chemo this week. Now, I don't know that this is true. Angela is not the most reliable narrator. We have seen her make things up and try and spread them around. So I'm not totally sure. We know that T-Core wanted to keep Rubina over Chemo this week. That is a fact. We know that that is true. But I don't know if she actually expressed to Angela that she would have preferred Angela use the veto on Rubina instead of Chemo. Not sure about that. But Angela and Makensy want to tell Chemo about this, so maybe he will vote out T-Core. Good luck. Because as I mentioned yesterday, I just don't know that anything you say to Chemo could turn him against T-Core. I just don't see it. He is loyal to the soil, to T-Core. They're also wondering if they can turn Rubina against Chemo. Again, good luck. I just don't know that I see that happening. I mean, yeah, I just don't. They're working off of the not assumption, but like they're working off of the fact that Rubina's upset because Chemo basically told her she's going to be leaving against T-Core. So she wasn't happy about that. And she talked about how that really lit a fire under her butt. But I don't really see her turning against Chemo unless it was like her versus Chemo on the block. But on another note, Angela was asking Makensy, how close are you with Chelsea? Something she's been wondering. So Makensy's like, yeah, I am close with her. But she says, I know that Chelsea and Cam have been super close from the very beginning. I know those two have been working together for a long time. They've been involved in multiple alliances without me. And she also sees how close Chelsea is with T-Core and Rubina. I mean, it's true, right? Chelsea is good with a lot of people from all different sides of the house. And Makensy recognizes that Chelsea is playing the middle, probably because Makensy is also playing the middle. Middle recognizes middle, right? She sees what Chelsea's doing. She's doing the same thing. So Angela starts talking about how much she loves Makensy. She's like, I want to go to the final three with you and Leah. Wouldn't that be a wild turn of events? I would never picture the three of them in the final three together, but with the way the season's been going, you never know. It could happen. Yeah. So Angela is continuing on her day and she's trying to make some moves here. She checks in with Rubina and she lets Rubina know that T-Core again basically said that she wanted Angela to use the veto on Rubina and not on Chemo. Again, I don't know if she actually said that. So Angela tells Rubina, share that information with Chemo. Let's see if we can lock in his vote for you. So Angela also spills to Rubina how T-Core said that she and Chemo are the two strategists in the trio, not Rubina. And Rubina's like, yeah, that's true. It's not me. At least she's self-aware, right? But Rubina is talking about how she feels like she wants to be there more than T-Core does at this point, which I feel like I would agree with that. I mean, I think they're both recruits, right? This is not like a lifelong dream that either one of them have had. But it does seem like Rubina is more invested in being there. I don't know. But Angela has pointed this out before. Rubina just wakes up and is like excited to be doing what she's doing. So Angela agrees with that. But a little later, Rubina campaigns to Chemo. And she's like, of course, I don't want this to be the end of T-Core's game. But also, I want to stay. She says she wants a fighting chance to stay. She was worried at the beginning of the week, or not the beginning, but after T-Core went up on the block, she was worried she might not get any votes to stay, and that would really hurt. So Chemo lets her know people have been saying that they're leaning towards keeping her, and that includes Cam. Cam did have a conversation with Chemo before this where he was like, yeah, I kind of feel like maybe keeping Rubina, but at that point he had not talked to T-Core yet. So that might have changed things up. But Rubina does what Angela told her to do. She spills the info. She says, I don't know if this is true. I don't like this. I don't like sharing this right now. She says it feels caca. But she says, Angela told me to tell you that T-Core wanted to keep me over you this week. Well, that is true, right? We know for a fact, and Rubina knows too, that T-Core wanted to keep Rubina. So the fact that she left the whole like POV element out of this, that makes this statement true. But yeah, Rubina tells him again, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know if this is true or not. It was. But this information pretty much flopped as expected. Chemo did not seem like that bothered by it. I honestly couldn't even like figure out what exactly he was saying because it seemed a little word salady to me. It was hard to put it together, but he wasn't really that shook by it. Rubina also brings up how protective Chelsea is over T-Core, which is very true. And if you look at the way that T-Core has been obsessed with Chelsea this season, I would not be surprised if she had to choose between, say, Chelsea and Chemo, either to go to the end or just like the two of them are up for eviction. I wouldn't be surprised if she chose Chelsea over Chemo. She is that invested in her relationship with Chelsea. But yeah, I mean, good on Rubina for still trying, right? So later, Cam and Makensy chat about the vote again, and Makensy is still pushing for T-Core to go. She's like, T-Core has better relationships with everyone than Rubina does. She's got Chemo, she's got Chelsea, and Cam brings up, well, Rubina has Chemo too. Those two are also very close. And Makensy seems convinced that they could pull Rubina away from Chemo. I don't know about that girly, but she says Rubina was pissed for Chemo talking to her like she's definitely the one leaving. I don't think that's enough for her to turn on him though. But Cam is still trying to weigh the pros and cons. He feels like Rubina is not going to win anything, which is funny because he said the same exact thing about Leah last week, and look who ran this week. Leah won the HOH and the janky veto. So Cam's assessment of people's competition skills, not always 100% accurate. But Cam brings up that he's not feeling great about Leah right now. T-Core told him she did not suggest him as the replacement nominee this week. He feels like Leah is planting seeds to try and drive him apart, and to drive them apart, but specifically also to drive the two of them away from Chelsea, which is exactly what Leah has been trying to do. So he's asking Makensy, how do you feel about Leah right now? And Makensy says, of course, I love Leah, but she says, I know that Leah has not always had my back. She says, I feel like she would potentially pick Angela over me. She would throw me under the bus if necessary. I mean, we've seen Makensy and Leah both throw each other under the bus. So yeah, they're both willing to do that for sure. But I gotta say, Makensy seems to realize that Leah is still better for her game than some of the other people that are left, right? Leah is not a priority target for Makensy. So it was still not clear how Cam would be voting after that conversation. Still very much up in the air. So then last night, T-Core was definitely starting to feel a little bit nervous, right? She had a few campaign conversations. She was not expecting to have to like answer questions about her gameplay and such. She was not prepared to be campaigning. Also, she thought she was going to be getting way more assurances from people, but instead she got the typical like wishy-washy kind of answers, like I got to keep talking to people, I'll let you know. So she thought it was just going to be, she tells people that she can be an asset for them and she wants to be there, and they'll be like, all right, I'm voting to keep you. That's not what happened. So T-Core is a little bit nervous, and she's telling Chemo, I know you have a really hard decision tomorrow, right? You got to choose between your two besties. So she tells him, do what's best for your game. And she says neither her nor Rubina are going to be mad at him with how he votes. I mean, some of them, they might be a little annoyed, but she says they won't. So she's giving Chemo some game advice just in case she does go. And she tells Chemo, if you win HOH, maybe like don't target Angela. Maybe don't even put her on the block. Because she says, as much as she does not want to see Angela go further in this game, she knows that Angela can be a shield in front of Chemo. She says you can go after a bigger target and maybe people will still target Angela before they go for you. T-Core says that Leah cannot be trusted. Who do you think the bigger target is that T-Core is talking about? It's Leah. So she says if she stayed in one HOH, she would be putting Leah up on the block. Chemo agrees. He says he is definitely putting her up if he wins 100%, a million percent. As far as who Chemo should be trusting, of course, T-Core says you can trust Chelsea. I mean, I think it's a given that it would be Rubina too, but she didn't really like touch on that as much. But because I think it's just assumed. But she said you can trust Chelsea, which I think is terrible advice for Chemo. It would be great for T-Core, right? She wants to continue working with Chelsea. But for Chemo, no. Chelsea does not really seem to envision Chemo in her final five. That's what it seems like. And she was also telling Chemo to like work with people who wouldn't use him as a pawn. And I feel like Chelsea would absolutely use Chemo as a pawn at some point. But she was also telling Chemo, I think you can work with Cam once Leah and or Makensy are out of the picture because right now they have a bit of a hold on him. So T-Core is telling Chemo, you can make it all the way to the end. You can do this. She's giving him a pep talk. And she's telling him, if I am on the jury and you make it to the end, I'm going to be fighting for you. Hopefully, she'd be fighting for him more than she did when she was in the house. Because, like, she didn't do a great job of fighting for him at all. She was ready to freaking vote him out this week. But anyway, Rubina joins them. The trio talks about how much they love each other, how much they've enjoyed playing together. It's an honor. It's a privilege. I'm really glad that they all found each other and got to stay together for so long because you can tell they really do care about each other. So it's very sweet to see. Okay, so later, Chelsea and Angela are chatting. And Chelsea is sucking up to Angela big time. Big time. I'm assuming this is just in case Angela wins HOH, right? Because she's won 2 already. There is a good chance that she could win. It's pretty convenient that this conversation is happening on a Wednesday night, right? Chelsea wants to make sure she would be good. But she's telling Angela, you can do whatever you set your mind to, even after we get out of here. Like, you've shown that you can do this kind of stuff. And she tells Angela, I have so much respect for you. I want you to be in the top 5. Now, Chelsea's top 5 has about 10 people in it. She has told so many people that she wants them to be in the top 5. So I wouldn't put a lot of stock in that. But she's telling Angela, you deserve to be here. I hope I'm as much of a badass as you are when I reach your age. And she's telling Angela, you're such a great player. I'd be so proud if you won this whole game, which is funny because just a few hours earlier, she told Rubina if it's Leah and Angela in the final 2, she wouldn't even want to vote, right? She wouldn't want to vote for either of them. So she's really laying it on thick. So Chelsea's saying like all this stuff, praising Angela. And Angela's like, really? Like, sometimes I feel like you don't like me. Clocked. So I think Angela can see through the BS here. All right. So then the house gets spent most of the rest of the night singing their little songs, doing their little dances. And I'm not talking about like the janky ones, but like the songs that they wrote. Some of them were a little janky, but you know, they were having fun with it. And then after that, Chelsea, Cam, and Makensy were about to like sit down and talk about this vote. And then Leah talk blocked them for like forever. So at one point, Leah asked them straight up, so what are you guys doing tomorrow? Who are you voting for? And they told her that they're going to vote out T-Core, but I don't know how accurate that was at that time. So there was no official decision before bedtime. because they didn't really get to talk things through. But today, the feeds were down for a while for the camera rehearsals for the live show. And when they came back, Chelsea and Chemo were chatting. And Chelsea was talking about how Leah's got to go next week, right? She's looking ahead to next week. She has had so many conversations in the last 24 hours about how Leah is spreading all these seeds and she's got to go because she is causing all these divisions and basically like causing issues for Chelsea specifically. So Chelsea's telling Chemo, Leah can't play for this next HOH. This is our chance to take her out. So then it was hard to hear this next part because they were whispering, but it sounded like Chelsea was telling Chemo that T-Core is going to be leaving today. Dang, so Makensy won that battle. I was thinking that Chelsea was going to take over and Cam was going to go with what she wanted, but it seems like Makensy, she stayed true to what she wanted, and she's winning this battle, and T-Core will be leaving. So Chelsea's telling Chemo, I'm thinking we shouldn't tell T-Core so that she doesn't have to be in her head all day. You know, she can kind of just enjoy this last day here. But like, is that why? Or is this more so that Chelsea can enjoy the day? Right? She doesn't have to deal with any last minute campaigning. I don't know. But they both talk about how they're angry, you know, that this is even happening to T-Core. She's such a wonderful person. And Chelsea's saying she wishes Angela was leaving instead of somebody from the trio. I thought you wanted her to win. So yeah, is Chemo gonna tell T-Core or what? I don't see how he doesn't. They're supposed to be like best friends. How are you not gonna tell your best friend? He's gotta tell her, right? I mean, on a game level alone, that would be so shitty to not tell her, especially with her going to the jury, right? I would be pissed about that if I were her. But just even on a friendship level, he's got to tell her. So I'm assuming that's going to happen at some point, even if it's like right before, I don't know. But yeah, the house guests have pretty much just been hanging out after that. I saw right before we were streaming, Chemo did have a brief conversation with T-Core. Not with T-Core, sorry. Chemo and Angela. I got a little lightning bolt in my head. Chemo and Angela was telling him like it looks like T-Core is going to be leaving. So she was cluing him in on that, and it seems like that is going to be the case tonight. But is it going to be 5-0? Is it going to be 4-1? Will Chemo give T-Core a vote on the way out? I would assume yes, right? That'd be kind of messed up if he didn't give her a vote. I'm sure Rubina would understand. But we also know the HOH competition will be starting on tonight's episode. I don't know what it's going to be, but that should be fun. The house guests will be moving back into the house tonight. Yay! I mean, I kind of enjoyed Janky World. It was nice to have a little bit of a break from like the insanity. For a different type of insanity. But another thing I wanted to mention, I saw yesterday that Dr. Will announced that he will be stepping down from doing the jury roundtables. So that's kind of sad because he did such a good job with it. And it was always fun to see him every season just for like a few minutes. But now the big question is who will be taking over for him. I know a lot of people are trying to throw their hats in the ring, but I want to know from you guys, who do you think should take over? Let me know. But I want to thank you all so much for being here. And I want to give a special thanks to our super chatters. Sorry, I didn't mean to be dramatic. I can't see as well without my regular glasses on. Okay, Benjamin, thank you so much. Benjamin says, it's a shame because T-Core was my preseason favorite. Me too. But for her to protect someone who never really cared about her over her own alliance is a lesson I hope she doesn't forget. It's karmic. Yeah, I mean, she really did do a lot for Chelsea when I don't think the same thing was reciprocated on Chelsea's end. So that was really tough to see her prioritize her so much over people like Tucker who did genuinely want to go really far in this game with T-Core. So that was definitely hard to see. I agree. Also just T-Core's ego and like entitlement really rubbed me the wrong way. But it is sad to see because I do think that she is a lovely person in real life. Sean Davis, thank you so much. Sean Davis says, "Happy eviction day. I don't know why I didn't notice the baby talk before, but I have been annoyed all week." Yeah, it's a lot. Who are you rooting for HOH? In other news, my cousin is on the new season of Love is Blind. Oh my god! That's crazy. Let me know their name because I do watch that show. Mom and I freaking love it. So I hope they're like a good one and not bad. I hope your cousin found love. That's really exciting. Who am I rooting for in HOH? Angela, of course. I would love to see Angela win again. I just think it would be hilarious and amazing. And thank you again, Sean. Tooltips with Tommy, thank you so much. And he said, thanks for all you do. Thank you so much for watching and supporting. And Anita Nestler, oh my goodness, thank you so much for the very generous super chat. And Anita says, I hope Angela wins the HOH tonight and puts up Chelsea. That would be exciting, right? It would definitely be exciting. So we'll see what happens. Thank you all so much for being here. We'll be back later tonight to recap the episode. So we hope you will join us for that. Yes, we did watch the Survivor premiere last night. Oh my goodness. It was a good time. The Andy freak out, very reminiscent of Angela. But anyway, thanks again, guys. So see you in a bit. And until next time, much love. Bye, everybody.